So we've got the 2018 Fox 36 Performance Elite with the rc2 damper. So it's got low speed and high speed compression and low speed rebound at the bottom. Had this whole bike for 3 days. 3 days of riding, pretty comprehensive ride on it. First day, really couldn't find the happy spot on the forks. Day 2, a little bit more experimenting and a fair bit more time on the bike. Got me understanding that I had them a little bit too soft. I started too stiff, went too soft, and now I've gone back to stiffer than original, spring-wise. So I'm running 82 PSI. I started at 80, went to 75, then to 77, now I'm back at 82. I've adjusted the compression accordingly. I sat up at a nice rough, fast piece of trail with a lot of rocks into a couple of turns and then a steep, fast chute that's rocky as well, so you're getting darted around. So there's plenty of stuff to test your suspension. I did reruns of that. I might have done 7 or 8, maybe 7 or 8 up and backs on that, going high speed compression first, so a clean run as it is, then back up 2 clicks more to see how it felt, then back up and then 2 clicks less than that standard that I had where I was happy, and the 2 clicks less made it feel much better. Then I went 3 clicks less, it was going in the wrong direction then, so I came back to 2 clicks less and that became my baseline. Then I did my rebound, same section of trail, back up, back down, just changing one thing at a time. So I went rebound 2 clicks faster. It was too darty, there was too much feedback at the front. So I went back up and went back to baseline and then went 2 slower. So the next run was 2 slower than baseline. Felt better, then I went back to 3 slower. It was a little bit too slow at 3 slower. So back into 2 slower, that became my new baseline. And then I played around with the low speed compression. So I've come 2 clicks off, and that instantly made it better. I already knew, and I felt like it was too firm to push against when I was coming into berms and stuff I was trying to pump off of. So I slowed it down by 3 clicks to start with, and it was great. It was really good, but it was a little too. I was going too far into the travel when I was loading off of hard, fast stuff. So I ramped it up again 1 click, and it's perfect. It's really, really good. So at the moment, I've got 8 clicks of low speed, and I've got 3 clicks of high speed, and that's from fully open. And I'm not too sure what the rebound is, but it's a little slower than I'd usually run it, especially on the lyrics. The lyrics I like fast because they're like pillows, and they feel really good and they feel better when they're fast. So these 36s, now that I've got them set up right and I'm running them stiff enough for the speed that I ride at and the weight that I throw at it, they're just excellent. They eat everything up, they stay in line, they hold a line really, really well, and the grip that I'm getting from loose corners, coming off line a little bit, all of that stuff where you start to wash away, the grip is just sensational. It stays on its line, it holds on. It's like piranhas on your tyre. It's just holding on. They're excellent for grip. If you want more grip at the front, with the tiny little weight penalty that it is over the lyric, which I don't even know, I think it's within 50 grams, but it's bugger all. If you're a weight weenie, the lyrics are your go-to. The lyrics are super stiff as well. These things are just get a little bit more grip so far from what I've played with. I'd like to experiment with putting another spacer in the fork. I feel like that's what it needs now. I'm at the limit of whatever it comes with. Now I know Giant are getting better at speccing their bikes with the outside of standard. So because this is an aggressive bike, they'll set it up quite often with a spacer or 2 in the fork, or a small or a medium spacer in the fork, and a spacer or whatever in the rear shock. I know with the 2017 Rain, they came out with, I believe it was 2 spacers in the lyrics and 3 spacers in the rear shock, whereas the 215 came completely standard with no spacers and you had to do the work yourself. So they're setting them up more aggressive from the factory, which is good. The Foxes, I've got no idea whether there's a spacer in there at the moment, but I'm assuming there's probably one small one, maybe not, but I do feel like I need another one. I do feel like I'd like another one just to improve it a little bit. I've got it up to speed now, running it a little bit softer. I really couldn't hold speed anywhere. Now that they're stiffer at that 82 psi, they're really holding speed. I've got bugger all. I've got a little bit of low speed compression, but it's not a lot. It's just enough to hold me up. I've got bugger all high speed compression, and it just sails down the hill. It's perfect. It's really, really good. So I'm really impressed with the 36s. I can't fold them yet. They feel really smooth. They've obviously never been serviced. They're brand new. They reckon a first service through a good mechanic or service specialist that does forks will get them better than new, and that goes for all your suspension parts. So I'd like to maybe do a longer term test on them one day, but 3 days I'm feeling pretty good on them. So a little harder to set up than the Lyric, but I'm very impressed with them. And the adjustments, you definitely feel the change. It's not like the old days where you turn it 5 or 6 clicks and what did it do? What happened? The clickers, they help. You can, if you find a piece of trail, a single piece of trail, and just change your settings on that piece of trail, one setting at a time. It's time consuming. You're going up and it's energy consuming, but get involved, get it done, and you'll never have to think about your setup again, because you'll know in the back of your mind that you've been through the process and doesn't feel that good there, so I'll change it. Feels a little better, change it. A little better. You know you've been through that process of finding the sweet spot with every setting, with your low speed, your high speed, your rebound, your air pressure, everything. Everything's feeling right. So there's no questions. It's just how you're riding or how you're feeling. Or maybe the weather extremes changes. When you get a really hot day, your air spring will be a little firmer if you're running just oxygen or just air as opposed to nitrogen. Apparently nitrogen keeps it a little more stable, a little bit more resistant to changes of temperature. So overall, great fork. Very impressed.